Hey everyone, I'm looking forward to showing you what I've been up to for the past 2 weeks working on my MMP project. Just to remind you, the goal of my project was to create a blog with an overview of apps that support the learning of statistics. So this is a blog for statistics teachers to come and look at the different posts, see how the applets work, and decide if they could be used in their classroom to support learning. I joined 2 AP communities. And I asked the AP stat teachers what they thought what apps they thought could be used in order to help support learning, or what topics are difficult to teach but would be easier to teach if there was some type of software or movable program that they could manipulate in order to explain these concepts. Unfortunately, I only had 2 replies. One teacher said to talk about regression analysis, which I did, and I'll show you that in a minute. But the most help came from the other statistics teacher in my building. We talked about creating apps that will show how leverage points influence the line of best fit and how outliers can affect data. So that was, so she was really helpful in that, and I'll show you some of the things that I came up with because of that. So what I've achieved so far. As you can see, my blog is here, which I set up. I've learned so much about how to create a blog just by watching YouTube videos and reading a lot of articles. So what I have set up here is I learned how to put all these different navigation buttons up at the top, and so you can just click through them. I learned how to link the posts to these blogs, which wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. I also, just the overall format of the blog, I made this area smaller. I made the actual blog posting area larger. I take none of this for granted because this took me a pretty long time to figure this all out, as I've never done this before other than the blogs that we've done for class. I added down here to search the blog if teachers just wanted to come in and type in maybe regression analysis, and then my screencast would pop up. So just the overall formatting of the blog is something that I'm pretty proud of. I think it looks pretty appealing to the eye, and I think the navigation and all that kind of works really well. So what have I done so far besides just setting up the blog? I created 3 lessons using Desmos. It's an online graphing calculator. So it took me a while to set those up. And what I did was create screencasts of 2 of the programs that I created. So for example, in this Desmos lesson, it's a regression exploration, which is talking about how to find the line of best fit. So I just made a screencast here of how to use the app. So I actually created this app that you see here, and then I created the screencast explaining how to use it. So I've been kind of busy doing those 2 things. Let's see. I also used this applet in class that I didn't create. It deals with taking random samples of Reese's Pieces. So this app back here, you can see this like candy machine. I didn't create this, but I created the screencast on how to use it and then posted it here on my blog. I also have the links here so that the teachers can just click them, and that'll bring them right to the applet so that they could use them in their classes. I also uploaded some podcasts that come from the book that I use in class, and actually a lot of statistics teachers use this book, and actually the edition, I have to add the edition on there. It's called Stats Modeling the Real World, and the authors just go by BVD. In the stat world, that's just how they're known. So these are podcasts from the authors of the book that are supposed to be listened to by the teachers in order to help explain how to teach the chapters, and it gives the teachers some strategies. So I thought that was useful. What I still need to do is add more screencasts. I have 3 Desmos lessons, but I only have the screencast created for the first one, and which is the regression exploration. So I still need to create my other screencasts for that. Also for the Rossman Chance applets, there's a couple really cool applets that I want to show other teachers, and I'll put them on my blog, but I just haven't been able to do that yet. Also some applets here for the GeoGebra. I haven't been able to do that yet, but I will. And I also need to include some more still media, because all that I really have is just this word splash up here. So the way that I kept to the rules of design was I echoed the color. I took this yellow color here and I made that the background of the blog, so I wanted to echo that. I only used one font, okay, and Blogger picked it for me, so I've just been using just this one font. It's easy to read. Also, I have very simple descriptive headings. You can see here it just says regression, exploration, sampling distribution for sample proportion. It's just the topic, so it's very simple headings. And also my posts, I try to keep them pretty simple as well. Basically, do you need this applet? Well, here's a screencast talking about how to use the applet. Here's the link, and then the screencast is below. And I tried to keep that format and repeat that format throughout all of my posts to kind of keep the navigation simple and the website pretty usable. Also, there's no scrolling in order to get to the navigation bar. All of the navigation just appears right up on the top. Okay. I also attended to the modality principle with my screencasts. Remember that the modality principle says that animation, people learn best when animation is joined with narrative, not text. So I have the animation, which is me manipulating the applet, and then also I'm narrating how to do that. Also, I attended to the personalization principle because my screencasts are in a conversational tone. I've gotten better with the screencasts since my very first one for the mixed digital media critique, and I'm using a conversational tone, which the personalization principle says that people learn best when using a conversational tone. I've also attended to the image principle. By not including a picture of me speaking on my screencasts, the image principle says that there's no need to have an image of the person speaking, that it doesn't, people don't learn better if there's an image of the speaker. So I left that out of my screencasts. I actually wouldn't even know how to put them in. That's something I'd have to research. Some questions that I have and what I'm looking for feedback on. The first thing that's kind of been bothering me is this picture here. Do you think it's too big? Should I move it up? In order to have the picture on the header, I had to reformat the picture. I had to stretch it, and it actually took me a really long time. I had to use one of the photo tools that I talked about in my mixed media digital critique. That's hard to say. Do you think I should make this a little bit smaller so it doesn't stand out so much? Also, I sin by using centered layouts. Do you think that this works, or should I avoid that center layout? I don't know. I think it kind of works, but I really welcome any feedback that you have. And also, it's suggested that we keep the links short, but these links for the podcasts are the chapter names. Do you think that they're too long, and should I try to shorten them and just make them a little bit, I guess, easier to digest? Okay. So thanks for listening. Thanks also in advance for your feedback. I look forward to listening to how you guys have worked on your projects, and I look forward to listening to the feedback that you provided me. Thanks a lot.